Howdy doody, everybody.
Hello.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Real quick, before you start explaining stuff,
Alright.
I have to grab something, but that'll be right back.
Alright.
Can't believe he didn't do this before.
I literally just started. I started recording.
Wait, I see interactables down here. Enhance!
Yes.
While we're
Oh,
waiting,
that's just the parties.
while we're waiting, my PNG
Right
on your
back.
stream has 2 N's in my name instead of 1.
Oh, you're so right.
He's very thin, is.
I guess you could say he's really on thin ice.
Thin. It's okay. Wait, Early, are you back?
No, he's just really good at imitating exactly how he sounds.
Yeah, that was me speaking.
I was making fun of Nuck and everything like 5 minutes ago.
That's true.
I was in and out. I came right back real quick.
Oh, I didn't realize. In which case, what the fuck are we doing? We can get started.
What the fuck are you waiting for? We're waiting on you. You're the
Didn't
GM.
realize
No,
you
we
had
did
gotten back
not
yet.
know we did not know his ass was back.
I heard him speak.
No.
What music?
We look to see. In fact, I'll start this with a question. Ortix, what would you say, since you've been here the longest out of the party, sort of waiting for everything to come together, what has Ortix's daily routine around Martyr's Hollow been?
I imagine since probably after waiting a little bit, it seemed like he was going to be here for a while. I imagine he would have familiarized himself with the community here a bit, start to get to know people since he figures he's going to be here for a while everything is going around. So obviously he keeps up with his training, and then probably goes around town, quote unquote, on his patrol and seeing if anybody needs any help with anything. I figure that's probably around what he'd be doing, since there's not much else to do if he's waiting to jump into the hole.
Okay, I'll say it's probably been around like 2 weeks. You've sort of settled in here at least a little bit. So you're in the midst of helping a merchant you usually help out with. They're a bit on the older side, and so you're helping them, grab boxes and move around their stock in the morning. It's about 7:30 right now in the AM, and in the midst of you moving around these boxes, you hear a voice in your head.
The
Hello, this is Lilith. No need to worry. No need to panic.
He's definitely looking around to see where it's coming from.
Come down to the Mortician's aid today as we've finished gathering your party. You can take a little bit of time if needed, of course. No rush.
Of course. I'll be there as soon as I'm finished.
And with that, the slight buzzing, like after you give your response, there's a slight buzzing in your head that sort of goes away.
Also, he definitely says that out loud since he's not aware of how to respond back telepathically.
The person next to you, the merchant that you're helping, sort of gives you a look, and just like, are you okay? Do you need to be somewhere?
Oh, did you not hear that? Is that just me?
I believe it was just you.
Oh. Well, I mean, as soon as I'm finished up here, I gotta head on over to Mortician's aid, so
Oh,
I'll be wrapping up here and I'll be over there.
perfect. Oh, I can handle quite a bit of this on my own. If you need to get going, feel free.
Oh, I'm not in any rush. Let me finish up here first.
And with that, they smile, and you take a little bit to finish helping them out with their stock. and then head on over to the Mortician's aid. And you head over to Mortician's aid, and upon walking in, you see Azadan. Would you say that Glaciel would sort of be out and around?
God, how many other people are in there at the moment?
It would be Lilith and like the party, so it would be like 4 or 5-ish people.
Is it crowded? Is the question.
No, it's not. It's not too
Then
bad.
yes.
Okay. So upon walking into the Mortician's aid, you see 4 other familiar faces.
Familiar.
4 unfamiliar faces.
Oh. No, me and Ortix actually been dapping each other up when they were outside. Unrelated to this at all.
I guess there's a possibility that, in the time here that some of you have at least passed by each other. But we're going to go in sort of order here and reintroduce how our characters look, starting with you, Ortix. We can.
So Ortix is very special Tengu. Does not look like your standard Tengu. He looks a little more grayish, brownish around his feathers, more like a mountain quail. Has his funny 2 little plumes sticking out of his head. Currently slicked back. He's a monk, so he's pretty built, pretty routinely. Trains every day. But either way, usually not too much clothing, mostly around his waist. Pretty bare upper body and.
Cool. We can move on to Soba.
I assume we've been waiting here this whole time, told the last member's coming.
Yeah, you have all arrived relatively at the same time, with Ortix just showing up an ounce late because he was helping out.
Hey, I was told no rush. I was not late.
Yeah, like I said, just an ounce.
Unlike everybody else who's probably sitting down or standing around, Soba is kind of lounging in his own coiled tail, and he is, for all intents and purposes, a completely naked man. He's just this huge hulking mass of muscle for his upper human torso and a long tail. I haven't actually looked up how long they can get, but we're looking around 20 feet long probably. That is all usually condensed into his space to keep himself upright. But right now he's leisurely thrown back, his scales nice and polished as they go around his shoulders and down his arms, and his entire back is completely covered in this blotched brown and black pattern similar to that of a large jungle snake. And he is staring daggers with his piercing snake-like eyes at Ortix as he walks in. He looks pretty angry with him, if you had to guess on first impression.
Racist.
But the only thing he's really wearing is he has kind of a large belt around his waist that kind of covers, if there were privates, it would be covering those with a cloth, and it's also it has pockets and deep pouches in place of a backpack. But other than that, he's just decked out in a bunch of nice jewelry, which has little pieces of claws and tufts of fur and maybe a human tooth woven in between the beads of gold and silver.
Can I ask what tooth? Is it a molar or a fang or a...
You can get up close and find out.
No, I'm asking you earlier, person. I really want to know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like a human molar, probably.
Yeah, okay.
Something that could possibly be punched out of a mouth.
Exactly.
Azadan is a paler, skinnier person with long black hair that ends in spikes with white tips. It's wearing a kimono or something similar to that, and just sitting very like I am not here, do not speak to me vibes. Like I got this table early at the lunchroom, do not sit next to me. Glacial is somewhere around, not necessarily next to him, just a blue-skinned woman, which not very apparent that she's not wearing clothing, but there's nothing exposed, just like long, also blue hair and like stuff that looks like tattoos, but it just if you look closer, it's just like slightly more what's the word I'm looking for? Like skin that is bulging a little bit more. It's just like physical patterns in her on her body. What she's doing, she's doing something. She's probably looking at something around the very interestingly decorated building.
And finally, Thinnis.
Thinnis is a pale, fairly average height, if not short height for an elf. Probably leaned up against one of the walls in the building. Thinnis has white, silvery-ish hair, which is kind of curled up, and is wearing like a long brown or khaki colored kind of a long coat or trench coat, and then has dress clothes under it. Typically they will wear like a colorful tie, but today their tie is black. He's looking pretty disinterested, but you can see that he's observing faces and kind of observing the room that he's in once again.
Alrighty. After everybody gets a good solid look at each other, a minute or two passes, and Lilith comes out of the side room and says, "Alright, I'm glad we could get everybody here, and today is the day. I will be seeing to it that you all have the tools that you need to head down into the hollow, and from there you will start your journey into the depths." Does anybody have any immediate questions before I get into things?
So this is the group, the 5 of us.
Yep.
Which one of you are the magic user? Gestures to the 3 people who aren't Ortix.
The Azanan it's shrinking into himself emotionally.
So it's you.
Uh-huh.
Very good. You will make up for my weakness. And you, smaller elf.
Yeah.
I suppose an elf is always useful. Are you a scout or a ranger? As he profiles immediately.
I can't believe I joked about racism and then he immediately started profiling. I was not supposed to be serious.
I wouldn't call myself that, no.
What use do you have?
That's a really good question, I think. as Thinnis looks into the room of like very capable, like strong people, and Thinnis is really good at writing in a book, you know.
What is your talent?
I'm quite observant. I was a detective before this.
So you are a scout.
Well, I think that has a connotation of like running up and like getting hit or something before everyone else, and that's not for me.
Nonsense. Scouts are the back line.
Okay.
They observe the situation and are aware of the tracks and the footprints. They lead us to answers that we cannot find.
See the lead. So you say lead? That no.
It's like a metaphorical lead, mental lead.
Okay.
With the brain. While I would lead with the feet. Well, metaphorical feet. More like tail. Long
Everybody
tail.
everybody in the room doing their best
Like
not
a
to look
body.
directly down.
And you're a warrior. Points to Ortex.
Of course.
Punch me.
Um,
I get rid of my bonus to AC from my dex. And he just stances.
Ortix will raise an eyebrow and do, like, just for sport, or
Weak! Punch me!
it's like a, not his full strength behind the punch, but he gives him an okay punch to the chest.
He's hesitating. It's fine.
So even though he is naked and sacrificed his AC, and 10 would normally hit a person like that, you kind of feel the shiver that you get from hitting a baseball wrong with a baseball bat. His exterior is definitely as tough as armor. That does not bode well.
I have no reason to punch one who is going to find fate with me.
I will protect you down there. Your glorious body is under my protection. And he puts a large hand on Ortix's shoulder and nods at him. I will teach you the way of the fist.
I assure you I am plenty capable on my own.
He looks down to where he was just punched. Right. Anyway, he looks to Lilith.
Lilith clasps her hands together and it's like, all right, now that, well, impromptu introductions have been done, I will get into the two objects that I will be providing to the two of you, along with the services that I will be providing. And with that, she puts two things on her desk. The first is the journal that you guys have all seen. And the second is a lockbox that is about the size of like a shoebox, if not maybe a bit smaller. And she sort of puts her hand on both of them. And it's like, the first being the Mortician's journal, which you are all familiar with. You all wrote in it. This is going to be the sort of lifeblood of the operation. Anything that you feel like you should or need to take note of, whether that is monsters that are down there so you can remember their strengths and weaknesses, or environmental situations. This is all going to be very, very important to write down here as you sort of piece together what is happening. It will both help yourselves, and it is paired with me, my copy of the journal. So I will be able to see sort of everything that's going on down there as long as you guys are writing it down, as well as the other parties. This is quite helpful for in case the two of you run into similar creatures, you can sort of identify their strength and weaknesses and make quick work of them. Things to note about it: the pages will disappear once torn out and you lose contact with them, and she sort of demonstrates this by ripping out one of the ghostly blue pages and then sort of letting it go off into the air, and you just see it sort of dissipate. There are an infinite amount of pages, and you can move pages around as much as you like, and she demonstrates by sort of flipping through a couple of the pages and just sort of like taking a piece out and then moving it to a different part of the book, and it just sort of like sutures itself back in to the journal.
Infinite kindling for our fire camp.
Again, it will disappear once you let go of it. Closes it and puts it down. The other object is going to be the Mortician's lockbox, and she opens the box and she sort of shows off the inside of it to the group, and you can tell that like the insides of it are sort of like a void. This box functions as that of a spacious pouch, as in it can hold plenty of stuff, so you can use this as any sort of bulk or stuff that you don't need to be carrying at any other time. You can hold in here, as long as you don't need it immediately on you. And the other part of that, and she points to a matching labeled box in the back of the room. It is linked to one that will be here. It is not linked with the other parties, but you can store contents and give them, and place notes either in the journal or on the objects themselves, and I will sort through it and take them, and I can sell them or store them here. Just keep in mind that if I am storing them here, you won't have ready access to them. On top of that, any buying or selling, you guys can put in orders for certain consumables or equipment that you may need, and I can place it in here for you as soon as I can get to it. One thing to note is that because of the Curse of the Hollow, do not put any organic or living goods in the box for any longer than you need to. It's fine if you put your hand in there to reach around and grab something, but if you try to put like your whole being in there, the curse will cause it to spontaneously rot. So no, I cannot send you rations or the sort, and you cannot send back a whole creature. Does that make sense?
I doubt a whole creature could fit in such a small pouch anyway.
Also, of course, you will start with whatever you have on you, and she points to a couple of bags at the sides, at the side of the room, each containing 7 days worth of rations. You guys will be good for your first sort of week down there, but just sort of keep it in mind. And if you want to do any cooking or the sorts with what's down there, you may find additional benefits. Who would like to carry these? Who would like to hold on?
Azanan swipes the journal off of the table before Soba gets to it and slides it to Dennis.
Soba has shown zero interest in any of the things offered, except for the rations.
Azanan just whispers "happy journaling" while giving them the journal.
Dennis just nods at you.
Okay.
I will move the journal itself over to Thinnis's inventory then. Things to keep in mind is anybody can write in it at sort of any time if you want to take notes in the journal. You don't have to have access to it. This is just important for if somebody, for both flavor and more dangerous situations and sort of like that. It's important to know who has it. Same with the lockbox. Who'd like to hold on to the lockbox?
Miss Lilith, I have a question. If we were to take food, let's say grapes or plums that we find down there, and then we put them in a bottle, and then we put in that bottle yeast and sugar, and then we put that in the bag of holding, will it rot naturally into an alcohol, or will it magically rot into something that will kill me if I drink it?
She smiles and says, well, I appreciate your ingenuity, but more than likely it will spoil into something that will kill you. So,
Noted.
yes, just make sure to not.
I have to buy a couple bulk worth of something before we go down.
Who wants to be holding onto the lockbox?
Azanan can grab it.
Cool. I will be here to support you if ever you need. I will be regularly checking on the journal and to see if you have any messages for me, and on top of that, I will be regularly looking in the lockbox too. You're free to sort of go as you please. I have no immediate direction for you, except I guess your first sort of objective is to find a way below the cloud barrier. If you find a way below that, then you will be well on your way to delving. Move your token over here. Your guys's travel speed is 25 feet. Translates to you guys can go 2.5 miles in an hour. But that also depends on sort of what exploration activities and stuff you guys do, because doing certain things will cause you to move at half speed, but of course will give you benefits in the meantime. So let's, before we get into that more nitty-grittier stuff, let me paint a scene for you.
Question.
What's up?
How far would it be to jump down to the first layer?
Jump down for the first layer. It is
How far down is this drop?
The first sort of bluffs are about 2.5 miles. Like
Doable.
straight down. Doable.
It is a bird.
I mean, we have a pulley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He doesn't
that's
need it
not-
though.
Yeah, that's not part of the
Soba's gonna
equation.
comfortably take the lift down.
Yeah.
As you guys get on the pulley and sort of look out across the hollow, you, from the top cliff, you can just sort of barely see the outer edge of the cloud barrier, your sort of destination, and the other side of the hollow. But down below, you see, in fact, Azadin, you've made a brief journey here before.
Yeah.
You guys see below you a forest, a fairly light forest, but it continues on about this sort of quarter of the hollow is all covered in this variable sort of temperate forest as you guys drop down into the first sub area of the hollow. Reaching the bottom, you can see that there are some structures here to sort of keep people at bay, or not people, but sort of the monsters from destroying the landing point. And there's a couple people here too who sort of oversee it, and they one of them walks over as the four of you drop down. Ah, welcome. Is this your all's first time here? I don't recognize you.
We are here to meet with fate at the bottom of the pit.
Yes, is the answer.
Ah, I see. Perfect. Well, just a bit of a warning. As of late, there has been quite an overflow of goblins and the sort around. So keep your eyes peeled for them. Is there anywhere particular anything in particular that you're doing? I might be able to give you at least a way to go.
We need to get to the very bottom as quick as possible.
I see. Well, I guess I can give you something from that. There was a secondary pulley made in the plains, but it was largely abandoned, but I'm sure there's parts of it that still work. I guess you could check that out. Do you guys have a sort of map?
Yeah. We'll pull out the map.
Perfect.
News to me.
That'll look good. All of this one.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Soba just took the piece of paper and
Is that what that
stuffed it
was?
somewhere.
He put it underneath the barrel of alcohol.
He makes a small mark on your map. You guys should now be able to see it on your map.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
Variable reasons. It was The first of which was when people really started to figure out about the curse of the Hollow, putting people down there and bringing people back up, only for them to, well, kick the bucket. Wasn't a great feeling. So people largely abandoned the project to look around the first layer here.
So if we just need to go down, then it's no big deal. We can just take that down.
Supposedly, if it's still functional, like I said, I'm not sure how much good it's going to do you, but it is
I
there.
don't know if you're high level enough to go down there yet.
How rough is the cliff face by that layer?
That's the end is already trying to make their way past the party mates. Trying to end this conversation as soon as possible.
Dennis is absolutely following.
The guy starts to explain. He's like, the hole is the rest of your party is leaving.
He'll look over in their direction, as you were saying.
The rock wall is all pretty smooth there. It's like the whole cliff face has just sort of been cut out with like a cookie cutter. It's strange, but yes, fairly flat. Probably not climbable. Without, I guess, maybe tools, but certainly difficult.
Noted.
Well, good luck.
And you'll fall after.
Perfect.
Vortex will have no trouble catching up to them.
So, how this is going to work is you guys will, we'll take it in chunks of an hour, and every hour, you guys will do some exploration, and there will be an encounter that is sort of rolled, or if you are close enough to one of the major encounters, you guys will find something there. There are plenty of points of interest sort of scattered around here that you can find. It's just a matter of walking by them or talking to NPCs or finding, clues as to where they are. So without further ado, I'm going to point everybody towards the party sheet. And under exploration, you can see that everybody has an activity here. Glaciel won't really be able to take an activity because that's just how sort of minions work in this. So if everybody would like to select something for their exploration activity, pay attention to the stuff that says like you move at half speed, because essentially if like one person is taking something like that, then everybody will want to be taking one, because even one person taking something like that will drop the party travel speed down.
Right. I was noticing that.
A lot of this sort of stuff is, will get easier as we go.
Most of them are just like going at half speed.
I guess sense direction, but that doesn't take an hour. Or at least per the thing, it doesn't necessarily take an hour.
I can't use borrow an arcane spell because nobody here fucking knows anything.
I believe I'm trained in survival.
Cool. I'll say just like taking this really helps with making sure your party doesn't get lost and so on and so forth. So I will be less likely to put you in those sort of situations. I'm going to be taking a lot of what you guys choose for these activities into account for like when you guys do end up in encounters. So
I'm trying to just repeat a spell because I don't have anything else I want to do anyway.
I will drag it into
Heck yeah.
here.
Let's just be casting. Yeah, boost idling.
Okay. Since this is a focus spell, you wouldn't really be able to do it for this, because essentially you can only gain focus points back like by focusing for 10 minutes. So generally this is for picking from something from your cantrips that you can sort of cast for free repeatedly. It's like if you wanted to do Protect Companion, then if you guys entered a combat, Protect Companion would already be on Glaciel at the start of combat. or like rousing splash for something already having like temporary hit points.
Yeah, but I don't want to keep splashing someone over and over with my cold water.
You can also flavor it as like you have it prepared, like you're not immediately using it.
I would rather that, because I don't want to start using ignition and just be that annoying person, like flicking my lighter over and over and waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, for sure. It depends on the cantrip, but generally it's like the fact that you can repeatedly cast it.
I'll just pick Rousing Splash on
Rousing
Soba.
Soba? Okay. Cool. So we'll do that then. So we'll move forward to our first encounter with this in mind. What direction would you guys like to go? This is where you guys can use the ruler and sort of measure out from your guys' tile. You guys can go up to, like I said before, 2.5 miles. Or now that you're using stuff.
Yeah, we're probably definitely going at half speed at this point.
Yeah, it would be half of that. So you guys can go 1 mile 25.
Soba is going to be walking behind Thinness because they feel like they know where we're going.
Oh, yeah, they wanted to go. Zoa wanted to go to the pulley. So, or no.
We can't get down there easily. It looks like we have to, because otherwise we'd have to cross this river now to get there. And then there's also these cliff faces. How do we get down to the next level?
Ain't that the question?
Ain't that the question? There are ways to get down, but none that would be like immediately apparent for you.
Let's make our way here. Follow the river, make our way to...
Yeah, let's probably hug the cliff face, see if we can't find a way down.
Alrighty. Let me roll.
Oh no, random encounters.
Kind of. So, how this works is every one of these numbers from the Fates die table represents a different thing. It will be sort of, you will learn more about that as you go, and you will know later more so of get a sort of feeling of like, if I rolled this number, then this will probably happen. But for now, as you roll a 6, let me get this. As you guys travel along the side of the river, you guys notice that the banks on either side are fairly rocky, and you see several like wrecked pieces of wood of people trying to like make rafts and stuff to go across, and they end up being sort of swept up and torn apart.
So people are unsuccessful in crossing the water.
Yes. Through normal sort of means.
Yeah, we just won't do that.
Cool. Moving on to the next time segment. Assuming everybody wants to keep their exploration stuff as is. Oh, speaking of exploration stuff, Thinness.
Yes.
What would you like to set your pursue a lead to?
I think at least in these first couple of hours, I think Thinness is investigating the journal and kind of figuring out how it works and investigating it, why it works that way, if that makes sense.
Okay. You can maintain 2 active investigations at a time, so assuming one of them is the journal, what would the other one be?
The other one is going to be basically finding where to go.
Sort of finding a way down to the...
Finding a way down or investigating the ground to see if there are like tracks, I think, where people have walked before.
Alright.
Can I have at some point during this trip, Azana wants to like borrow the journal and do, you know, the page flipping thing where like you use your thumb and you try to like you make them fan out a little bit. I think they want to do that because they said infinite pages, but that's obviously not possible.
As you do that, you notice that like as you as you flip like through pages, the number, like visually, the number of pages on like either side of the book don't seem to change. It's almost like you're like, you know how like virtual phone, like book phone apps work, where like you'll move and it'll look like it changes the page, but like obviously it doesn't because it's a fucking phone app. It's kind of like that.
This will do well for if we go into a lava area.
Alright, let me roll again.
So I fucked up. I did the ruler tool again, and now there's another icon on my screen that I can't get rid of.
So you guys get roll a
Damn, that's way
2.
too many. That's way more than 120 feet across.
Distance.
The 4 of you, as you are traveling along the riverside, notice something in the distance. In fact, who has... since Soba is actively searching, I will say that Soba is the one who sort of notices this up the riverbank. You notice several smaller figures shitting around the water. Like, you see them, it almost looks like they're playing in it, but then you see one of them hold up, like, what looks to be a fish on the end of their blade, as they've sort of poked it out of the water, and all of them sort of gather around that one critter, and they all start like jumping and celebrating, and then they go back to what they're doing. You guys all see this up the riverbank.
Children ahead.
I am going to unload the party here. Thump. You guys can organize yourself in any sort of way that leaves you within 10 feet of the party token, including being on top of the party token if you so desire.
Oh, that's a cool way of doing it. That's just like
kind of Fire Emblem-esque is what I thought about.
Thinness will lead us into battle.
Well,
Bro was just looking at the waterfront, my guy.
Soba points ahead and says, "Children ahead."
I feel like Ezenan understands that they are probably not children, but a continuing tradition. They are not going to say fucking anything about the interacting with this kind of behavior only rewards it.
Do you guys continue walking up along the bank?
Yeah, I
Party
mean,
token.
they don't seem to be immediately hostile to us. So
No.
It does not
Let's
seem
see.
like they have noticed you yet.
that's
Sort of
okay.
Caught up in their
Oh,
own-
okay. Perfect. I would like to stealth up to them.
Mhm.
Alrighty, roll me sneak. Alrighty.
Not bad, not bad. For +4.
Alrighty. You can feel free to start moving yourself up, and they do not seem to be noticing you. Is anybody else going to try to be sneaking up with Soba?
No,
Not
Cortex is just
particularly.
walking up.
Yeah.
So we'll say Soba is in front then, as you guys sort of move up in this same sort of formation. Cool. And it is about at this point when this closest little critter turns to the 5 of you and is like,
What are you doing here? This is our spot.
We're
in
just
common.
passing through.
Just passing through. Well, you should know to not step on our territory.
Can we not just be on our merry way?
You have already trespassed.
Has Soba been noticed yet?
I just have to assume.
Yeah, at this point,
He's just slithering around.
yeah. You certainly got closer without being noticed, but as your party came up behind you, you are now spotted. You are out in the open. You aren't exactly hiding behind anything. And they start to form up here as they all sort of start walking up to you, and it's like,
Yeah.
Well, we just need to get through here. Whether or not this is your turf is of no relevance to me. I simply wish to move forward, but if you insist on getting in my way, then you will come to regret it.
is this intimidation?
Sure, we can say it's intimidation.
Trying to strong arm them into moving to the side.
Yeah, I can do a +0 roll to my intimidation. Oh yeah, that's a good roll.
Tasty.
I don't think you understand. It's time for you to go.
You see the one that caught the fish, like unsheath their blade out of the fish, and throw the fish to the ground as they take a step forward. Roll for initiative. Yippee!
Damn, my rolls today suck.
Mm.
And that one, huh?
Mm.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Finn is leading the party. Let's go.
So I was doing prepare action or whatever.
So who are you applying that to, Soba?
Yeah, how do I roll the 1d4?
You can. I think you can just grab the spell effect from the text and put it on Soba. Soba might be able to do it. If you,
Just roll 1d4. You can do that by typing in chat.
if it's being applied on someone, I think they just have to drag it
Okay.
onto themselves.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's a 1 then.
I already marked it.
Perfect. So with that out of the way, we start with this
Hidden roll
guy
initiative.
here. As they move forward, they take 2 actions to move as they sort of dart around to the side of Soba, and they make a swing. Soba does an 18 hit.
We can't see the
Eight-
roll.
Yeah, 8 and 18 hits exactly. But yeah, we can't see your rolls.
Oh, it's because I had it as private. Lamau.
don't see
So does that 18
anything
hit, right?
Yeah, an 18 hits.
Okay. Take 1.
I saved you from the 1 damage. You can pick me later.
I don't know. 1 damage is huge when our HP pool is like
Ah,
less
I
than
see
20.
I see the dog slicer attack and
Yeah.
dog slicer 1
Yeah,
damage.
I see them now.
Dog slicer.
I'll have you know.
We don't have any dogs.
Yeah, that's the other party. we should mark this on our map so they don't come here.
Oswald is
next in the
fucked if he
initiative.
comes here.
Another one of the Goblin Warriors runs up the other side of Soba, and with
Flank
2
maneuver.
actions, and makes 1 swing there.
Oh.
Huh, that crits.
Hey.
Oh,
What the fuck, Wolf?
that is a crit.
Hey. I can't tempt you out of that one.
Watch this 3 damage.
Ooh!
Never mind.
Holy ow. As they get a clean slice to your
Yeah.
side.
Hey, how much HP do you have?
Is that double damage or is that?
That is already doubled. That is.
Oh, that is already
Yes,
double.
that is already
Okay.
doubled.
All right.
Ouch.
As you feel you aren't quite able to fully, get out of the way of this one, and it finds purchase, ganging up on Soba, taking 2 actions to move forward, and 1 action to swing.
Dude.
Bro.
It hits.
Not a crit though.
Not a crit though.
Yeah, but...
Holy rolls.
Hey, can you chill out?
Alright.
Miss waited
But
her die.
With that, it is now Thinis's turn.
What? Yeah, as you watch your party member get wailed on like the JoJo gif, what will you do? Will you put down your tea and join?
Yeah. This is gonna devise a stratagem.
We should just be yep. Pre-rolled a 5.
Oh,
So the
Wow.
nice thing about devise a stratagem is like you can go and attack something with that in mind, or you can choose to simply not.
okay. Well, if I were to have used that devise a stratagem on specifically the right goblin, can I go attack a different goblin and have a different attack roll?
Yes.
Okay.
You only have to use the stratagem if it's on the the one you chose. So if you attack a different one, you would just do a normal attack roll.
Got it. Okay. Then I'm going to not attack the one near the water. I'm going to move up 10 feet here and strike that one with my sword cane.
There we go.
Woo! That is going to be a hit.
Okay.
Your sword cane finds purchase, and you see this thing almost drop to the floor. Like it staggers backward at the end of your cane, and it's sort of holding its side. It's like, ah, it's bad, sharp.
That's my turn.
Not quite
Right.
Soba's turn. You hear a scuttling in the woods to the northeast, but nothing happens yet. Soba, it is now your turn.
More! Give me more! And he rages. He then punches the one to his right.
All right, let me see that roll. Holy roll. Not quite a crit,
All right.
but it is definitely a hit.
Well, it's dead, I'm pretty sure.
You apply damage to this
Yeah.
one. You punch this one so hard it flies back and it lands like in the water.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Bring me more! And he looks at the one that he didn't just instantly clap, and he's going to attack that one next.
That is going to hit. Roll damage.
Well,
This one also just gone. As it falls backwards, and you sort of like punch it from above, like punching down at it, and like flatten it to the ground.
This isn't the one that Sebs is already engaged with.
No.
By the way.
no.
Okay.
That was the one to the left of it.
Well, Thinis is engaged with that one, so he's going to turn his attention to the one that is still chilling. Both of his knuckles probably dripping with goblin blood. And my turn.
Alrighty, Ortix, you're up.
Probably isn't enough. I could reach it.
Yo, not far enough.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to attack if I did.
What's your movement?
Should be 35 or 30 now. Oh, it just barely doesn't reach. Whatever. I can't attack him anyway. I'd need to stride twice. I'm gonna go bird mode and fly behind this guy and punch him.
In 18, that is going to hit. And with that, after getting stabbed, you come up behind this guy and give him a good wallop, and he drops to the ground.
Oh yeah, I have 10 hit points again.
That's my turn.
Cool. You hear another rustling in the brush to the northeast. Azadan.
okay, so move Glacial there. I want to attack the fish sword.
And that is going to hit. Roll damage. You blast this guy from afar as the icy ray hits him, and as he sort of like freezes up his movement, he drops to the ground and sort of crumbles.
As it then like flicks the ice beam in their direction, yawning, and then goes, I'm preserving that fish.
You do have one more action.
Can I protect companion?
Yes. Spell
Cool.
effect to Lucian.
Okay.
And with that, Thinis, it is back to you, and you still know that there is something afoot,
Yeah.
having heard sound come from this direction.
Am I able to roll a perception check on it?
Yes, you can roll to seek. Just make sure it is a blind GM roll.
Got it.
With that, you are able to you squint your eyes into the foliage. This itself is a tree with a bunch of like brush under it, and you start to notice the sort of signs and outlines of two more of these creatures.
I am right near Soba and Ortix, and so I would probably say something along the lines of like that there are two more in the brush.
It's like a point out action, right?
Yep.
Oh, is there?
Don't have to roll for it or anything. Simply point it out to the party.
Got it. I'll just use the rest of my turn to move Thinnus there, and then I'm good.
Cool. Moving on to one of them. Breaks coverage from the brush and yell out,
How dare you do that to our people?
and they throw, they fire their short bow at Thinnus, who has sort of moved up.
That just hits.
And then they are going to take a second shot with multiple attack penalty.
Well,
Holy,
And roll higher? You're
not
cheating
that-
the die?
holy!
You are
roll.
cheating.
Two arrows just barely scrape by. Now it is Soba's turn.
so I'm just gonna slither on up, and he's going to punch him. We're gonna do it to you as well.
As the creature nimbly moves out of the way of your fist, more than likely because you are slightly weakened, and just sort of like puts his hands up to its ears and goes, "Ah." Next up we have Vortex.
One stride.
Huge.
Two
Flanking.
punch.
Two punch. Flurry of blows. You see those rolls. Hit.
He's dead.
Ooh. Hit and crit. Roll me damage for both of those. It makes the face at Soba, and then you come up behind it, and with two blows, like kind of eviscerate this thing. Like, I don't want to get too gory, but like, man, it is. I don't know how to describe it other than this thing is mist. Like,
Oh man, I don't have critical specialization effect because its body would also be ash if I did. Anyway, I have one more action.
you sure do.
Wow.
As you hear like a rustling in the brush as you eviscerate this guy, and a little yelp.
I'm coming in.
It is now its turn, and it
What's
is
the plan,
going to
little man?
use all of his actions to leave. I think this guy has very reasonably been fully scared off as he runs out of the map.
Can I try to take a pot shot at him?
Oh, what's the range on your?
120 feet.
Yeah, go for it.
Yo,
That's a hit. Roll damage.
snipe! Yo, snipe the shit out of him!
Exactly what we need.
And as I'll bring him back, as he goes to hightail it out, you strike him in the back with this ray of frost, and his movement stops, and he falls to the ground. What would the party like to do?
The first thing I'm doing is grabbing the fish.
Ooh, find my center, find my center. Oh, find my center, yes.
I'll worry about the rest of the looting after. I need the fish first.
Let me bring up the group stash, and you can just put this on you if you so desire.
That's rations, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's today's dinner.
These little green men are not edible.
Wow.
I would not know.
You can roll a recall knowledge to find out.
All right.
I'll roll a survival. How edible are goblins? Wait, I don't have survival. No, I won't.
Why not? Just do it anyway. I'll roll it.
Oh, I do have survival.
I'll roll it.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it would be blind, wouldn't it? Whoops.
Sure would.
Here's your blind GM roll.
I can. I can roll also.
Alrighty.
Or should it just be an assistant?
Unless
Can
the party says don't eat sentient life forms.
Can I roll it, or is this like I would have to assist someone else?
Soba, what? You could roll your own.
Yeah.
And then, just say it out loud if you find something. So if you want to roll that before.
I don't think I rolled that privately.
No, you did.
Okay. I don't think I rolled it correctly.
Can you see it?
What do you mean?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you can see the roll, then make sure it is. Yeah.
There we go.
It
think-
should be a blind GM roll. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking for.
But-
Okay.
That one I can't see.
You. Let me double check this. Soba looks at it and goes, it's a living creature, more than likely. Like there are probably taboos around it, but like it's probably fine to eat. Azadin, you recall that there is a certain thing called goblin pox. Which is a disease that goblins can spread either from like through contact or through eating them.
Azadin is putting the fish back down.
Well, it touched the sword, not the goblin.
Well, did it touch the fish?
I would say with the just sort of going off that same survival check, you would think the fish would probably be fine.
Okay. I do not think you want to eat that unless you want to die of sickness.
I don't want to die of sickness, so I will not eat that then.
Very good.
I will start adding stuff to the party stash. You find 9 gold.
These items had 9 gold on them.
More than I have.
That's less than I have, but still.
A piece of silver that is kept in a little case that is like separate from the rest of them.
Weird.
A small bottle, which you guys I can sort of immediately identify as ghost ink. And then you also find one of them is holding a small trinket. If you guys want to try to identify, you guys can use pretty much any of your recall knowledges to try and find out. Different types of recall knowledge are better at figuring it out for like what the object is actually. But you can use whatever your preferred one is. And it takes around 10 minutes to identify an item.
Is it something I can do like while we are walking?
Yeah,
Or this is
while you're
something-
walking too. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. And you can get a couple chances while you're walking to be able to correctly identify it.
Okay,
So-
I'll try
Yeah.
to-
You pick one of the 4, so probably whichever one you're best at.
Yeah, I'll do Arcana on the coin for now, but I'll probably just do that as my next roll for whatever.
For now, all you can really tell is it looks and feels like a very normal silver piece.
Okay.
And,
I have no way of determining if any of these are special.
I think if nobody else grabs them as an will just hold on to them to investigate on the way. Unless the nurse wants to deal with that.
Nah, Dennis is not interested.
Okay. Yeah, this is my special
Okay.
interest for the next 5 hours.
Don't care.
Cool.
Dennis, if we have a sec, is actually interested in the small camp that he's nearby. Actually, is this picture we have accurate? Like, is it just like
Yes.
the one bed campfire? Okay.
Yep. You also notice as you go over there that there is a splattering of blood to the side, which sort of leads up off to the north. Are you looking to sort of investigate this?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
Sort of as you sort of futz around and like move the blankets and the bedroll and stuff, it is hard to identify, like find anything that identifies who this belonged to. Basic knowledge, you can tell that they were here and they left up to the north. So you don't find much.
Got it.
For anybody who took damage, if you would like to as well, you may spend one of your resolve points to gain back all of your stamina. You get, I think everybody right now gets 4 of them a day, and they all refresh when you sleep.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Take a breather.
Take a breather.
While the investigator and the magician are doing their timely things, Suba finds his core and rests after a good rage.
I think Ortex would probably be searching around for any sort of signs of, I don't know, things passing through here, maybe indicating the most used trails.
Okay. Give me a perception check to try and find sort of like tracks or some kind of trail to start on. You find you go and you search over sort of where Thinnis is searching, and you find where that there are signs of either like struggle or like where that blood started. That whoever was there seemed to either more likely escape up to the north, and you do find some tracks that you could follow.
Question, by the way. Is anybody in our party a doctor? Interesting.
I will say I looked directly at my medicine to see if I could be doing the heal party member, and I have a +0, so I will not be helping you.
Thinnis has a +3, but is definitely not saying anything. He's definitely like very much not a doctor, but knows shit type of deal.
Perhaps these tracks lead somewhere. Surely somebody who's bleeding out is in search of help.
I feel like they if they were bleeding out, they would use the potions that they had on hand.
Unless the goblins ransacked their belongings.
Worth checking into. What do you say, investigator? Tracks worth following?
It's possible. I think if you're looking to get into the hollow, I don't really think that's probably the right direction. But if you're looking to help a person possibly in need, then we can go that direction.
This could lead to the goblin camp. And then we could get their spoils.
Or you could die from your wounds.
Nonsense. I'm fine now. Clearly not fine.
Yeah, staring at all the blood smears from your wounds.
You're yeah, you were certainly injured, but you're not like actively bleeding out or anything like that.
Yeah.
Especially after taking, a second and finding your core and taking a breather, you're relatively in shape.
Let's follow these tracks. Maybe we can get some useful information. Maybe if we come across another goblin, we can less lethally procure one as a potential guide to a way down.
That could work.
Surely they know the land better than us. They live down here. That only came to my idea as I was settling down from a blind rage. But,
Well, they attacked us, so.
True and real. They ran up and stabbed me a good few times.
But you're fine.
But I'm fine.
Okay.
I've been better, but I'm fine. I'm not great.
And with that, your party sets out, still following, vaguely around the bank since it's still just to the north. But you pull away from the riverbank. It is 10 in the a.m.
Can I do all my funny rolls now?
Yeah, as you guys are starting this next stretch of walking, let me see a couple rolls from you. I'll give you, if you're going to be doing it the whole time, then we'll start with just start rolling them. You can have up to 6. Are you trying to identify the silver piece or the?
Yeah, silver piece first, then I'll move on to the other part.
Cool.
Much more interesting for the funny, strange piece than it is for the very obviously maybe enchanted talisman.
We're still unable to figure out much about it. And with that one, it takes about a half an hour of you guys walking, and as it ends, you're just sitting there sort of playing with it, like trying to figure out what it is and what it does. And after a while, you just sort of start flipping it. And you notice it is more likely to land on one of its sides than the other. So
Not the
identify
magic
this
way to
piece
coin.
as predictable silver piece. You can see the effect of it, and essentially you can pick the side of the coin toss, flip it, and it will land on that side.
Okay. I'll be rolling for the other thing.
All right. 3 more rolls in this time slot.
On the law, I was kind of hoping it'd be the ultra kill coin, but
so these are how the goblins got those rolls. So
yeah.
And that is going to be a fail.
How many exploration activities can I have active at the same time?
Still don't quite have it. And with that one, rule of 3s, baby.
I can just have all of these active at the same time,
This,
huh?
as you... All of what active at the same time? Oh, Jesus.
Hey.
I didn't realize you could do multiple. That's actually really good for these longer stretches.
How do I don't know how to change mine, but I'll just assume that it doesn't matter.
You identify this as Hunter's Bane, which you can affix to armor as long as you are trained in survival. And when you activate Hunter's Bane, you sense the exact location of the attacker, making it hidden from you instead of undetected. And how talismans work is you can just affix them to, it'll say like armor or weapon, and then you can activate them as long as they are attached to you for the required action cost. And then they will disappear afterwards. So it is one use. It is a consumable. But it is a free action to envision, which will reveal your attacker.
Does anybody here want me to attach it to them? Because I am trained in survival.
There's nothing on me that you could attach it to.
Yeah. I've been looking for where my stuff is to see if I have armor.
Inventory.
I mean, you...
I
Yeah.
have clothes on. Oh, I do.
You have your
Okay.
gi, which is...
Yeah.
The gi definitely counts as armor. It's like anything that is in that slot is... Even if it's like adventurous clothing or whatever, is something that you can attach it to.
Let's see. I don't know what the party perception rate is here. I don't know if we want this or we want to just leave it there for the other party.
We could sell it.
I mean, the good thing is you don't need like perception for this. It's just
Yeah, no, but
yeah.
just in the future, do we want this or are we good? You know, I don't know. I'll leave it there for now.
Anything we don't plan on using, we could always sell.
I'll just leave it in there for now. But now we know what it does.
You guys can continue moving along. So you wanted to follow those tracks. Can I get a follow tracks? Speed, attempt a survival check. It could be from anybody who wants to be the one to.
Sobel will also help. It's blind or open?
This would be open.
I have a +3. I don't know.
I also have +3. Dude.
You don't need me, actually.
Thinnis? Ortix and Thinnis, the two of you sort of lead the party here, as you follow these small signs of, the occasional drop of blood on a leaf, or the footsteps in the midst of branches on the ground, and you are able to successfully follow them, where you happen to find a corpse.
Oh, Rebozo.
It seems as though they have bled out. As you guys were sort of following the tracks, you guys noticed that, like, the blood was fairly dry. It wasn't necessarily a fresh trail that you were following.
Damn.
And
This
scavenging,
MF got dog sliced.
looking at these stuff that they have on them, or just like taking a peek. You can tell they have a small pouch which probably has some stuff, and they are wearing some splint mail, a hatchet by their side. It's up to you guys if you want to check the pouch or anything like that.
Anything in the pouch?
You find two things. One is labeled refined pesh. The other is Mender's soup. Along with that, you find 8 gold pieces.
More gold.
Is there any identification on this person? Are we able to find out who this is?
No. They seem, they're a human. From what it looks, they are somewhat middle-aged, and they're, other than like their splint mail, most of their clothes and stuff seem on the rattier side. And it's hard to tell if that's just because they've been down here for a while, or if it was like that when they came down here.
Interesting. Refined Pesh, which +1 item bonus save versus fear effects, but also stupefied 1.
Weed.
Yeah, it's weed. And then the other thing was a
Mender's
suit, which is good for crafting or repair checks. And then, of course, 8 gold, which is just pretty good. We're gonna start needing to put stuff in the box and put a note in there saying, "This is garbage to us, please sell."
Yeah, I was thinking earlier, like taking a page from the book and putting a note, and I remembered if we let go, it'll fucking vanish.
You can always write it in the book still, and then like she'll see that and be like, "Oh, these are the items that need to be sold." That is how it's sort of assumed that, it's happening.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get that prepared, because we don't really need any of these things we've looted so far.
I feel like we can keep the. I mean, I don't get talisman 1 use is kind of useless, but it's something.
Yeah. It is, but it also doesn't make things revealed to us. It still makes them hidden, which is pretty not great. We can also just do that with a seek check.
It is a free action to do it though, which is nice. And it's guaranteed is the other.
I think we put a note in the journal like, if other party does not want this sell. I want them to have a chance at that. I don't care about the coin. They don't need the fucking coin.
Alrighty. As we sort of get close to noon here, next segment of time. What would everybody like to be doing?
Still searching.
Cool.
Looking for baddies. Trolling for baddies.
I've already identified my thing, so...
Back to repeat casting?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the same spell.
Cool. With that then, you guys have veered a bit from the sort of cliffside, or the riverbank, if you guys would want to go back towards that.
Just, reapproach the cliffside and keep moving along it.
Yeah.
Probably the best idea. So we're looking for a way down at this point, so just keep following the cliff.
Cool. Let me...
8.
As you move over towards the cliff, it happens relatively soon. Do you want to be closer to the riverbank?
Probably more up, yeah.
Probably more up, yeah.
Okay.
Little
Map.
forest encounter.
As you guys are making your way back over towards that cliffside, you are pushing your way through some brush. And who is going to be leading the party? Who's going to be up in the front?
Probably Ortix, since he was scouting.
Scouting, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Then we'll move you up to the front, sort of the front end of the brush. And as you reach the front end of the brush, you notice, unawares, out in the midst of the field ahead of you is a goblin. And they are riding atop a creature.
Doggy.
They seem to just sort of be patrolling. This particular little green guy seems to be holding themselves differently than the several other ones that you saw before.
Single guy.
This is two guys. This is a guy riding a guy.
Still. Danger. Seems a patrol is ahead of us. We must be closer to a camp.
Do you want me to they'll make the like finger pointing signal.
I would like to stealth, and if I'm allowed to stay in the bush and like start making my way like this.
Okay. Give me that avoid notice.
Oh, that's just
A little
a
stealth check. Yeah, stealth check.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn, he's pretty good for having a +4.
You start snaking your way up through the bushes.
Yeah, feel free to put me however far you want.
Okay. We'll say it takes some time. These bushes here under you count as difficult terrain.
Sure.
Under this tree cover, and you notice at the edge of this bush that the tree cover itself, under this tree, there isn't a lot of like brush or anything like that.
I'm seeing that.
It's pretty clear. What would the rest of the party like to do? You are still unnoticed.
I'm trying to think if we want to engage this MF. Want to? Well, actually, if we engage him, then we could try to get some information out of him. I think that was the plan.
Yep.
I would also like to try to stealth.
Alrighty, let me see that stealth check. Avoiding notice. 18.
Oh,
You can-
Is under here pretty clear
yeah.
as well?
Here, I can show you. You move under, you can see.
Oh.
I have a question.
What's up?
Can my summon roll avoid detection?
Yes.
Hmm.
Do you go out under like where the tree is, Ortix, or do you stay at the sort of edge of the brush? I'll cover that before I cover that.
If I go out under the tree, will I be noticed?
You could be more likely to be noticed. I will say, for those who are rolling for avoid notice here, you can use that same number as your initiative.
Interesting.
If it's initiative, I think we get +1 from my scout activity.
I'm just saying when we get there, you will still get the +1
Okay.
from it, but you can use your avoid notice as long as you are sort of sustaining it to be your initiative roll.
I'll try going out under the cover of tree, see if I can avoid notice still.
As you go under, You notice that they're still turned the other way, as the large sort of dog-like creature that the goblin is on is sort of sniffing about in front. Thinis, is there anything you would like to do before Glaciel moves?
I'm also going to enter sneak mode.
Alrighty, let me see that stealth check.
Damn.
Alrighty. What would you like to move?
I'm going to kind of stay behind Ortix here. Just kind of move like right here.
Okay. And where do you want Glaciel to move?
Well, I was thinking closer, but
Okay. So like up to the edge of the brush here.
shorter.
Cool. As Ortix and Soba start to circle around very quietly as they carefully push their way through the brush and out to the underside of the tree, both Thinis and Glaciel aren't quite as graceful in their movements, and at the couple crushes of a branch, both the rider and the mount turn towards the group. And seeing the group sort of, or just seeing them try to be stealthy is immediately sort of hostile as the mount growls and shows its sharp teeth. Is anybody going to try to call out to them? They have most certainly noticed Glaciel and Thinis.
So wait, what are we like calling out to?
If anybody wants to say anything or whatever, this thing seems hostile. All right.
Trying to avoid it.
They noticed me, didn't they? Without further ado, then, let's roll some initiative.
So you said we can keep our stealth check as initiative?
If either of you.
So would I
like
just
to-
add +1 to mine?
Yep.
Oh wait, am I?
So I'd be a 19 then.
I'll also use mine.
Thinis, would you like to roll your own, or would you like to keep that number?
Slightly better.
Huge.
It would be a 14, I think, because of the scout. So.
Yep. Cool. In which case, as they roll a 17, and they're going to be moving together. So, without further ado, let's get gaming. First up in the order is Soba. What would you like to do?
Delay action.
Alrighty. Let me know when you want to come back in.
Yep.
Ortix, you are just out of this thing's vision as it's sort of glaring down Glaciel.
I'll keep sneaking. Probably like to here.
Okay. Let me see that roll.
Oof.
You see both of their heads sort of eye over to you as they notice you.
In which case, I will enter stance, and then if I want to try to figure out what type of dog that is, what kind of check would that be?
Recall knowledge, I believe. Nature.
Oh yeah, here comes that +1.
With that, you can't quite clock what this thing is.
5 brownie points to any of the players who guess correctly what it is.
Do you know what it is?
I mean, it's a goblin riding on a creature. It's probably a warg.
I don't know what that is.
This MF didn't watch the Lord of the Rings cartoon back in 1987, and it
You
shows.
would be correct.
Bro, were you alive for that?
I loved that movie. I had the VHS growing up.
Alrighty. So stance, and then what are you doing? You rolled the recall knowledge.
Yeah,
So
so
you
that's my
aren't quite
turn.
able to clock any information about it. Next in the order is goblin, as it uses one of its actions to command its steed. It sort of looks around to try and get a good idea of its surroundings as it tries to seeing if there are any other things around. It's not going to. So assuming that it is sort of seen everything it can, and is going to start moving forward, and with one great stride is going to run towards Ortix, and then the goblin is going to make a attack with its pole arm that it has out. As in a holy swing.
My DM is waiting the die.
And a wide swing.
Not a crit, but it hits.
We need to get these coins out of circulation.
Take 10.
Ouch.
It is then going to.
Wait, isn't that reactions?
2 enemies.
Yeah,
two
but
enemies.
it was command companion. Oh, it has one.
Yeah, the warg, the warg strode and used seek, and then the goblin just made its one attack. It is then going to, with multiple attack penalty, take another swing.
Not even close.
Womp womp. As the second one swings wide and does not connect. Next in the order is Thinis.
So, question about attacking this. Can I target either one of them? Is that how this works?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to devise a stratagem on specifically the mount.
Okay.
I'll use my after thinness as well.
Ooh, loading a
Nice.
16 in the back pocket.
Okay. And then I'm gonna move up behind and flank it here, and then attack the mount with my sword.
Get him.
Holy. The free 23. Huge. Roll damage as you find purchase with your sword cane. Alrighty. You manage to get up behind the warg as it's sort of getting into position, or you get to the flank of it as the goblin takes a strike at Ortix and manage to stab it in its hind flank. What would you like to do now? You have one more action. Wait, no.
No, that was it.
No,
all
I
of
do
them.
not.
Never
That's
mind.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yo, can we give Dennis haste?
Azadan.
Is it alright if I take my action right now?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Silva said he was after Thinis.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah.
Double move. Raging while he's moving. And turn.
Oh.
I would have been doing this once it did move in, but I didn't speak up quick enough, so it's fine.
I have
Gotcha,
a
gotcha.
question.
What's up?
Am I supposed to be able to see, or am I just looking at a tree for the rest of this?
So I can show you how this works if you.
Okay. Oh, there. Okay, I see.
All your
Azadan
friends
has
gone.
no idea what the fuck
Yeah,
is going on right now.
Okay. Move glacial. That's 1, right? Kick on the ward or whatever.
Cool. Kick on the mount. Whew, that is going to hit. Good rolls.
That's 2 actions.
Yes.
Yeah. Either one more thing you can do with Glacial or 2 with.
Nice.
Holy rolls! All right, that connects. And is this also on the warg?
Yeah.
The mount smiles.
It is a warg!
I don't care what it is. I'm
Being a
hitting
huge
it.
fucking tweet pays off! I know niche trivia!
And this one sort of rotation of you all getting around it and jumping this thing, you have done a pretty solid amount of damage to the mat. It has seen better days. And with that, we are back at the top of the order. Ortix.
It's about to see worse.
Flurry of blows. Okay. Holy rolls!
Oh, it's
Oof.
Womp womp.
wow.
The first one
Ooh.
connects. Hit not crit. As long as you were,
Ward.
yeah. Assumed. Holy
Dog.
damage.
Is the... Oh, wait, that's not... Is the
that
hit
not a crit?
counting flanking?
Oh, wait. Good point, actually. Yes, that is a crit, actually. So double
damage.
Crit and a miss.
24.
Or-
You managed to hit this thing, like, as it sort of recoils from that ignition, you sort of use the momentum of that to hit it sort of right in the neck, and this thing goes limp as the goblin tumbles off of it.
And then... Ooh. Map -10.
You sure are.
I'm gonna try to grapple it.
Oh, okay.
And that counts as an attack, yeah.
Yep. So it's still going to be at 10, and that is against its fortitude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Which,
Yeah.
if it has any fortitude
Yeah.
save, then it probably does not meet.
Yeah. Certainly doesn't. As this thing manages to shake you off as you try to grab it.
And then what do I do with my last action? This doesn't go lower than map -10, does it?
It does.
How do I do the math? I don't see any numbers lower than that.
That's because the game doesn't expect you to go lower, but thanks to being a monk. I mean, if you want to do something at -15, you can. You can also do other stuff.
I don't. Check this huge +0 intimidation right now. Oh yeah.
Huge. Doesn't now immune to you.
That's fine. I'm gonna grab it next turn anyway.
Next to the rotation is the goblin, who turns to you after you thoroughly eviscerate its mount, its prized friend, and it swings its weapon up towards you.
Again? Yeah, that hits.
Didn't crit.
Okay. Take 6.
Still up.
And another!
Whiff.
Second swing whiff. And it is going to try and tumble through.
What is that against?
I believe it's against your fortitude, your passive fortitude.
Does not get to go through.
It tries to get back by you after, swinging this giant sort of glaive for it at you. But you still manage to block its path as it bonks on sort of your waist and it falls backwards. Next in the order, Finis.
We want to get information out of this thing, so let's try not to kill it.
If you're trying to attack with a lethal weapon non-lethally, then you take a -2 to the attack.
Well, it hasn't. I guess it hasn't taken any damage yet, so we don't know.
Yeah.
You also just
I'm
don't
just
wanna
letting you know in
one-shot it.
advance, so that's how it works.
You should probably just hit it non-lethally at the start so we don't kill it.
Yeah, how is there a way to specifically roll for that? Or do I just subtract 2 from whatever I get?
Just
You can subtract 2, or you can use unarmed attack, which has the non-lethal trait on it.
That is true. You can roll, like, full with unarmed attack.
More fist to the fist build. Fist party.
Punch
Right.
this
Cold at
MF.
that, but sure.
You could also flavor the -2 as like hitting it with the pommel of your sword or something like that.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think I'll roll unarmed attack. But I'm basically like flipping my sword cane down and holding it where I would normally hold the cane and just punching.
Okay. 11. It narrowly dodges out of the way of your attack.
Okay. I want to do it again.
And again, -5.
Or for unarmed attack is not -4.
It should say
it's
that -4.
Then
'cause-
yeah. It's agile.
Because it's finesse.
so-
Or is it
Okay.
the agile? Or the
Yeah, it's agile.
the agile.
Finesse just makes it so you can use your dexterity. Womp womp. What would you like to do with your last action?
Can I do it again?
Yeah, you sure could.
At -8. Sure.
Let's fucking go.
One of these has to connect, right? Womp womp. Nimbly dodges away from your flurry of fists as you try to imitate Ortix's form. Next on the list, Soba. What do you like to do?
Punch.
Holy punch!
That hits. In fact, that crits.
All right. Take a bunch of non-lethal damage.
Knocks the lights out of that bitch.
Yeah.
Take 24 non-lethal.
He's down for the count, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he is unconscious as fuck right now. Little Goblin is dodging out of the way of this flurry of little blows from Thinnis after, falling off of his warg, and you just boom, one straight to his face, and he just collapses on the ground.
I like to imagine it's like the back of his head, just like a real like you cut Gene, just fucking floors him.
Just floors this MF.
The worst part is Soba raises his other fist, ready to continue his turn, and sees that he doesn't get up and just sadly lowers it as his raise.
The fucking Markiplier punch gif.
Dennis says something to the effect of well, I tired him out,
Good work, Finesse.
I think Glacial pats you on the shoulder as she floats away. It doesn't really say anything.
Damn.
And with that, the combat is over, and you guys have an unconscious goblin in your midst.
I'm going to use my rope to bind him. And then when he wakes up, he will be questioned.
Cool. I'm not sure if there's roles for that, but I don't think that I'm gonna really worry about it at this very moment in time, because I don't think this MF is getting away. So I'll just say you do it. Where is immobilized? I'll just
My most important thing that I've taken into heart is the DM should not make you roll shit if it's not important.
Yep. No, I 100% agree. That's one of my biggest philosophies.
We've shaken hands about this before. I just
Yeah.
think it's so important to
I'm not gonna
know.
make y'all roll for stupid shit, especially when y'all have all the time in the world after this MF got clocked.
While we're just chilling here, I will take a breather and use one of my resolve points. How do I do that? Do I just -1 from my resolve?
Yep.
Cool.
Stamina has seen better days. Took 2 full swings from the horse chopper.
You look pretty roughed up there.
I can handle it.
Soba just nods in agreement.
Okay. With that being said and done, Ortix takes a breather. Is there anything, and ties up this MF? Is there anything else the rest of the party wants to be doing during this 10 minutes?
Soba has to find his core for a solid minute, but after that, he's good to go.
I don't really think there's anything for me to do.
Cool. I'll move time forward then. It takes a bit longer than that to let this thing wake up. Takes quite some time, but eventually it does come to.
Yeah, this MF has a concussion for sure.
Yeah, I'll let him come to with 1 whole hit point. As he sort of wakes up. And are you guys still here? Like, are you guys like against the tree or?
I'm probably like chilling a little bit away.
Yeah.
His weapons have been taken away, but
I just realized this guy probably never even saw me.
Probably not. No.
no. You pulled up and he was like busy with everybody else, and you fucking clocked him in the back.
You didn't drive by, like.
He doesn't even know I was a part of the party. He failed that perception check and everything.
Oh, eventually it wakes up. What the? Huh?
Good morning.
And it sort of kicks backwards and falls over. What happened? Where?
You attacked my friend with a disgusting looking weapon, so I had to punch you in the head.
I see.
What are you patrolling around here?
Scouting. Mostly. Why should I be giving any information to... Oh, my head.
Well, seeing as your options are give information or we throw you in the river, then I would advise that you give us information.
Give me intimidation as you try to force.
Let's go, another +0.
I would like to add to this by walking up and like, if you don't like getting wet, we can go the other way and just like flame on the end.
You can aid. So, what skill? You can either also do intimidation, or you can give me sort of a different role if you think it would be more fitting, like performance or something like that. Holy. All right.
Nice.
Those are the same.
Since you were also rolling intimidation, I'm just going to sort of let that roll take over. If you were rolling with anything else, then it would add a +1 to Ortix's if you were successful. Yeah. But since you were also trying to intimidate, while Ortix's may have not been 100% effective, as soon as the light appears in your hand, his eyes grow wide and he goes, "Oh, okay. I'll give you what you need."
Well, what are you scouting for?
The rest of the goblins, the rest of my group down here, we were looking for new territory to move into, to take over.
Driven out of your old one?
Not really. Just looking to expand.
Do you know where your other goblin friends are?
Other goblin. Yeah, they're over towards the west.
Is that
Decent ways from home right now. Although we do have posts around the forest. Our main camp is quite a ways west.
Will we have to pass through them if we're trying to get down? Assuming you know a way down.
Down?
Yeah.
Down to the lower cliffs, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do know one way down. We do have some mines over in the west, and we've a couple of us have used them to go up and down. Although mostly once after you go down, you don't come back up. You stay down there if you know what's good for you.
Oh, where?
Would you be willing to bring us to these mines so that we may go down?
Would you be willing to not kill me?
That is why we asked you to tell us.
That's the plan.
Preferably, we would like to not wage war against you and your kind. We would just like to continue onwards on our adventure without any casualties. I think avoiding combat between our two groups is in the interest of both of us.
Can I get an additional diplomacy check as you try to make an impression Just try
Oh
to.
my god!
Can
Stop
I-
making me roll these plus zeros, bro.
Damn, but you
I
you
guess I don't get to use
handled
my plus. I don't get to use my +7. My bad.
it.
To be fair, I was the one talking.
No,
but
yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Dude, I should invest in like fucking charisma or something if you're gonna make me keep rolling these.
Uh, yeah. Okay. I guess I can. Well, if I find my group again, I will need. If we find any other goblins, I'll need to break off though. If they see me traveling with you guys, they'll think I'm a traitor, and then I won't get back with them.
That-
You dig?
you- Whatever will get us down without, any more issues works for me.
Why would they see you as
Why?
being a traitor?
Well, because I'm traveling with the adventurers. You know, what's the homeland gonna think of me if I'm traveling with the invaders? You know.
Invaders. How long has your group been here?
As far as we can remember.
How long has Martyr's Hollow been around? Just for reference, I kind of am not sure of the time frame of when it came up out of the water to.
The earthquake happened around like 3-ish years ago at this point, and in fact, almost like pretty close to exactly 3 years ago, in Forast of 4721, which is now 4724, and then a year later it was discovered.
So
It's been around, it has been known of for about 2 years, but it is theorized to have been around for 3.
at least,
At
because it
least.
sounds like this guy has been here around longer than that. If he's calling us invaders, not that Ortix would think that, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Should think of us as less as invaders and more of travelers moving through your kingdom.
Well, as much as, I would love to think of you guys that way, as, you didn't kill me, and I assume if you've encountered any others of my kind, you probably haven't killed them. Like, I'd like to assume you're that way, but there's a lot of people who come down here and just,
Yeah.
To be fair, your goblin allies did attack first.
yeah. Well, it hasn't been the first time that we were the ones to, be attacked first, so little both sides. People have been coming down here for a while and making a little bit of a wreck of the place, kind of making it their own.
Well, I'll tell you what, next group of adventurers you run across, make sure they're not with the Mortician's aid. And if they are, they'll probably kill you. But if they're not, then, well, best of luck.
Yeah, of course. Well, shall we get going then?
Sounds good to me. And he'll unbind him. You'll untie the rope and put it back in his backpack.
He looks around for a second, and you see the thought cross his mind of running, and then he sort of stumbles, like loses his footing and holds his hand to his head and just goes, yeah. I'll be coming with. I'm Lear.
Lear?
Lear, yes. Leer.
Can you type that in the chat?
Yep. This MF has 1 health. Yippee!
Good thing we don't have anyone who can really do medicine. I realize now that
I mean, I could try.
that'll probably be an issue.
Cool.
I could. I feel like I had the stats to do that before Miss told me to shift it to it's +4.
Sure.
So, as we go to the overhead map, I will reveal. And do you guys sort of show Lear your map
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let him do some marking? So after taking a little bit to sort of comprehend it and look around it, Lear makes 2 markings on the map. The first is the mines, which he had mentioned before. And then the other is the headquarters.
These are the most notable. The mines are the places that I'm taking you now, and the headquarters is where you should probably be staying away from.
Noted.
Sounds fair to us.
With that, we will sort of, I think we're good to end it there, and we will pick up next time.
We need to figure out something about this lack of healing.